Hi, good morning everybody, good morning teacher. My name is Gladys Itzel Sanchez Arechiga and today I'm going to talk a little bit about linguistics and all the information I learned in this 1 month class. The class is the language as a system, and besides, above all, I want to tell you that this class was a very interesting class and I like it a lot. I just enjoy it. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, in this presentation, in this short video, I'll be talking about some contents we checked during this month. The first one is, I will be giving a definition about a language. Then I'll be talking about the language as a system. I'll be mentioning some properties of the language which makes the language unique. I'll be mentioning the 3 branches of linguistics, which is phonetics, phonology, morphology, and syntax. And finally, I will give some conclusions about it. Well, before I start, I want to mention that this class has changed my mind about what I thought about linguistics before, or the language before, because before I thought that it was just a simple way of communication, but I never thought that it was that complex, right? Because to be a language, it needs to, I discovered that to be a language, the language must have certain characteristics. And before I used to think that my dog has a language, but that is not true. Language is something complex, it is a system, and this is what I'll be talking about today. So let's begin. First of all, I want to give you like a short definition of what a language is. Well, the language, as you can see, is a verbal system of communication. This communication, or this type of communication that we are trying to convey, must be meaningful. This language, a language, distinguishes us from animals, yeah, and the language contributes to determine our power and life as humans, yeah. Now, I would like to mention that during this course I discovered that there are 2 ways in which we can learn a language. The first one is acquisition of the language, and the other one is learning a language. Well, what is the difference between both? Well, if you acquire language, acquiring a language doesn't need any formal training or any formal study, right? Just imagine a children. When we are children, we learn the language and we acquire the language because we are immersed in that environment. However, learning a language, if you want to learn a language, any language, you need formal instruction and you are not immersed in the environment, but you are in the classroom learning what a language is. Okay, now, what implies learning a language? Oh, okay, no, I go. Okay, I will stay there. Learning a language implies 3 important things that in the classes the teacher mentioned a lot, which are the linguistic knowledge, the preparation you have in terms of phonetics, phonology, linguistics, and all of those things. Also, you need to have knowledge of the sound system, which is the manners or places of articulation. And the last one is the meaning of words. The prefixes, the suffixes, all of those, the grammar rules to know about a language. Now, an author, a very important author named Jules, made this discovery that the language has 7 unique properties, and these properties are what make language to be unique and exclusively to humans. So let's see what are those properties. Well, as you can see, I have the properties over there. I hope I don't interfere with the image. Yes, I interfere a little bit. Okay, there you go. Well, how many properties do we have? Okay, we have 7 properties. The first property is displacement, as you have it over there, which is the ability for humans to talk about present, past, and future. The second property is arbitrariness. First of all, when the teacher mentioned this property, I didn't understand what was that, arbitrariness, but this is very easy. I mean, the words fit the objects they represent or they denotate. For example, if you use a table, it is a table. We don't know where does this term come from, but you know, if you say a chair, you know what are we talking about. That's arbitrariness. Then the last one is, it's productivity. It is the ability to produce oral utterances, yeah? Or sentences. We have another one, which is cultural transmission. It is where the language is transmitted by generation to generation. Yes. Then we have discreteness. This is like related to the sounds or the pronunciation. For example, we have back. In the letter will be B, or the sound will be B. Pack, the sound will be P, and they back and pack, they only differ by one sound, which is P or B, that is discreteness. The duality, here I have it, it is duality, which is, it has two layers, encode and decode process. Yeah, and we have other features that I didn't write there, but I would like to mention them, which is vocal auditory channel, reciprocity, specialization, rapid fade, non-directionality. Okay, those are the properties of the language, and I repeat, these properties make the language unique. So, going back to my introduction, now my dog doesn't have a language, because the way he barks and all of those things, that is not a language, yeah? So, I reflect on that, and that's very true. Well, let's continue. What are the main characteristics of the language? Well, in the class we discussed two types of characteristics, which is the linguistic performance and the linguistic competence. Yeah, those are the main characteristics of the language, and what do they refer to? Okay, the linguistic performance is all the productive skills like speaking and writing, yeah? The ability to produce some spoken sounds. And the linguistic competence, are all of those receptive skills we get, like in this case will be the reading and listening. So these are the two main characteristics of the language. Okay, now I'll be talking about the language as a system. What is the language as a system is composed by three branches, which is phonetics and phonology, morphology and syntax, and very quickly I'll be talking about it. Well, we have the first one, which is phonetics and phonology. Phonology is one branch of linguistics which analyzes the abstract aspect of the sounds, yeah, and the phonetics. Phonology focus on pronunciation, intonation, and stress. Yeah, also classifies the sounds in segmental and suprasegmental. As well, the phonetics is the one in charge of the physical characteristic or aspects or the sounds. Yeah, like the places and manners of articulation. And also, when talking about phonetics, we are talking about the voice and voiceless sounds. Yeah?